Hi, welcome to Life and Business, a podcast where we talk about life, business, money, and how these elements are intertwined in the everyday life. My name is Rosa Camero, your host, plus I am an entrepreneur, a mother, a wife, an immigrant, business mentor, and CEO and founder of Rosa Films and Marketing. Welcome. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Life and Business. My name is Rosa Camero, and today we're going to talk about closing the deal. Closing the deal, what is that? Well, closing the deal is where you actually get the deal closed. So if you are in business and you want to find more clients, getting to the money part can be really uncomfortable. We have so many issues with money. We have so many blogs, so many programs around money that talking to other people about it, it's really uncomfortable and it's really difficult, and it can be deal breaker for some people. So closing a deal is about actually practicing to be comfortable around money, practicing around saying your prices, feeling comfortable about sending a contract, and feeling comfortable about asking for the money. Like actually your client needs to pay in order for you to start to work. It can be like that if you're working with a really big international companies, like multinational companies. It might not be the case. They pay like sometimes 30 days, 60 days, 90 days after you actually have done the job. But if you have a small business and you are also doing or making business with other small, medium-sized companies, then this means that they can actually pay you in advance. Not everything, but at least 50%, 30%, 20% of what you're charging for the services that you are giving them. So it's completely normal talk about money and talk about these things during business meetings, but because no one teaches how to do it and how to actually approach this part of the process, we feel weird and we feel like dirty and we feel like we're not doing it right and we shouldn't be the first ones to mention money. But when you're selling something to someone, and you are the one who's going to offer the service and they're going to pay you the money, it is necessary. It's a must. You must talk about money. You need to be the first mentioning. It doesn't have to be this way like all the time, because also you can be talking to someone that is like super considerate, super responsible about these things, and then maybe he or she will ask you about the prices and ask you about the contract and ask you about all the process that you need to do with the money. But most of the times it's you actually showing them how they need to work with you. Now you have done everything. Now you have already like, I'm following this episode. It's following another one that we had. It's learning, or not learning, but how do you know your potential client is interested in your services? And this is part of my formula, CSC. It's connect, selling with ease, closing the deal. And that's the order that I like to explain things, because that's the order that I do things as well in Roscam, and I do things in Roscam in my personal brand. This is a process that I have. This is a process that I have built. And well, this is also a course that you can find, online course that you can find in my website. So you have done the process already. You are in the last step. You have connected with people. You have talked to them. You have offered your services, and they have said, yes, I want them. I need them. How can I buy from you? How can I give you my money so you can fix my life and fix the problems that I have with your amazing talent? And okay, so it's like, they're already interested. You don't need to do anything else. They have said yes. They have already mentioned they want to work with you. Don't ask again. Don't try like, and this is something especially for Latin people and Mexican people, that we are brought up in a way that we need to confirm. Like we confirm 1,000 times before we actually do the action. In this case, you need to just jump. You need, like they have said yes, you need to go for it, and you need to teach them what are the next steps for them to work with you. So you need to let them know what is the process. You need to let them know how they can work with you. So they have said yes. You have already done your part. You have okay. So they have said yes. You have done your part of maybe saying a price or something. Then you follow up with an email. Don't overthink that they have said yes. So the process, and for me, it's really easy. It's like, oh, they say yes, perfect. You are interested. I will send you an email with the process. We normally send some questions, and I also send some questions if they are working with me like one-on-one in the mentorship program. And then I also send the quote and send a contract. So these are the things that you need to send to your client. Now is your client because they're interested. You need to send a follow-up email with your quote. So this is a price that you agree on. Payments, how they're going to pay. If they're going to pay 50% in advance, if they're going to pay like in monthly installments, how they're going to pay. Or they're going to pay like 100% of the cost now, or for how long. So this is the payment. You talk to them. So you make sure during the closing call where you're closing the deal, you talk about the payment dates and how they're going to pay. So you know what to put in the contract. If you haven't talked about it because you are ashamed or you are afraid, and in the beginning it's really normal to not mention that. It's super important. You need to teach yourself how to do it. And you need to teach yourself how to talk to your clients about that part of the money and the payments. And after that, use our contract with the payment dates, the services, and also your bank information and your invoice information, all their invoice information. Once that you have sent this information to them, you also need to send the invoice. So you have sent the email, the follow-up email with the process, the contract. They need to give you the invoice information so you can send the invoice so they can pay it. And that will be the next step. So over the email, you need to put like, please send me the invoice information. Also, when you talk to them, it's like the email is just a follow-up of the things that you already settled during the call, during the closing call, or during the meeting closing call. So things that you already talk about in the closing call is something that you need to follow up on email. What are the things that you need to have in your closing call? Talking about price, payments, the process, how they're going to work with you. What is the process for how long they need to wait for you to deliver? Also the invoice information. If it's not that person who needs to send it, who needs to send it, and like who do you need to send email or WhatsApp or whatever for the invoice information. After you talk about these things in this closing closing meeting, you follow up with an email where you attach the documents that you need to attach. Or if you're using a platform, there's like several platforms that help you with this process if you are more into the online business. There's platforms like they actually do everything they have an automatization, so you automate everything. And as soon as you actually trick the first step, like they will receive all the documents, contract, invoice, etc. And then after that, if they haven't answered you, most of the times they answer you, obviously, because you have already an agreement. So they will follow up with if they have more questions, and maybe they want to change something on the agreement, or maybe they need to send you the invoice information. So they will follow up, and then you follow with the next steps. For me and my mindset in my business, it's money first. So it's like I need to do something else with a client. Because most of the times, unless that you are an accountant, unless that you are like a number freak, like someone who loves numbers and they love to work with it, they won't have problem to follow up with these kind of things. The rest of the humans, the rest of the people who are in business, and we're doing our own accounting and we're doing our own like selling and doing the strategies and doing something else and then doing lives and doing social media and doing everything. We obviously doing numbers and sending a quote, having a contract, that's really boring. We don't like it. We prefer someone to do it. But here you are not in a company. You are yourself, and this is your salary. If you don't put that numbers to work, you won't have a salary, and you won't have money to pay your bills, and you won't have money to pay your expenses. So for me, my mantra in my business is money first. So whatever the money we need to send an invoice, we need to send a contract, we need to send, that's where we need to be first. After that comes everything else. So you need to make sure you have that. So you settle in an agreement and you send everything that you need to send in order for you to receive the money. So that's the last step. So, and obviously when you receive the money, woohoo, you do a little dance, you celebrate, and you feel grateful for the money that you're receiving, and actually you make it happen. So these are my tips and tricks for you to close the deal. If you want to know more, you want to go more in depth in this topic, take my course, Formula CSC, Connecting Selling with Ease, Closing the Deal, where we see this topic in a deep way, where you can find tips and tricks of how to make the negotiation, the closing deal easier. Thank you for being here. And remember, you can leave your comment in our social media. You can be connected with me, or you can do it on YouTube, or you can actually please leave a review in our podcast, Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We are going to be grateful to actually have your review there, and invite your friends to listen to this podcast. And see you next time. Bye. Do you have a business but it doesn't have a clear beginning or an end? I can help you with giving a structure and a strategy to your business so you can see more money and recognition for your work and talent. I help business owners to monetize their talents and get faster to the dream goal with a perfect plan, a strategy. This is a simple step-by-step from step A to wherever you want to be in life.